All right, and let's go into this. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to NFL Pregame Sunday, presented by the Play Actor Podcast. As we're right here, hopefully everyone else joins in sporadically throughout the rest of the day. I am Will, and we got Colton. Colton, hello.
What is up, Will?
Big Sunday ahead. Last week of a lot of fantasy leagues in the regular season. The playoff push is here. Everyone needs some certain scenarios to clinch. And we have actual NFL teams to make a playoff clinching scenarios. We got 3 of them, and we will discuss those going into today. So let's talk about this. So, coaching news: Anthony Lynn and Doug Peterson are on the hot seat. Very interesting to see Anthony Lynn with a massive screw up last week in Buffalo, which could have ultimately resulted in a win there for the Chargers. And Doug Peterson, who's just had, him and everyone in the NFC East is just flopping. Do you see either of these coaches getting canned going into the offseason in a couple weeks?
Doug Peterson, no. It's just Philly overreacting again, Philly being Philly. But it is worrisome that Carson Wentz all of a sudden is having this downgrade of a season. That's the only thing that comes to my mind when it comes to Philly. Anthony Lynn's good as gone. Again, Herbert's looked great, but that has nothing to do with the rest of the team looking like dog crap and him blowing leads. So they're going to bring someone else in, and this team's going to be very, very scary, and they're going to compete with the Chiefs. Chiefs fans, you don't want to hear it. You think, we got our guy. This is going to be our division, just like New England ran through the East for those time with Tom Brady. Sorry to tell you, it's not going to be that easy. Justin Herbert's here to stay, and he's going to cause some problems in that division. And if Denver decides to ever get a quarterback under John Elway, if he ever decides to get a competent quarterback, that might be a problem there. But my goodness, yes, Anthony Lynn is good as gone. He's just not a good head coach, man. The Chargers are literally Falcons of the AFC. They just love blowing games, and it's not really talked enough because you see it more on higher stakes with Atlanta. But my God, this team does the same thing. Anthony Lynn's as good as gone.
And well, Doug Peterson, there has been rumors that if they don't make the playoffs, he will not be the coach going into next year, and the Eagles are going to be in a lot of dire cap struggle with how they're $86 million over the cap, and they have a lot of contracts that are in the back heavy portion of it, and they can't really cut them because they'll be eating a lot of dead money. But there are some reports from Ian Rappaport that Doug Peterson will find another job almost immediately if he gets cut by the Eagles, bringing them their first Super Bowl win against the Patriots only 3 years ago. Be interested to see where he goes. Anthony Lynn was a former assistant coach with the Bills and the Jets, and he hasn't really produced anything with the Chargers so far.
I really don't know what coaching moves we're really going to see. I think if it'd be kind of really crazy, Eric Bieniemy to the Chargers would really be something I'm all in for. Or honestly, Eric Bieniemy in New York with the Jets. We had this conversation on our show Tuesday on where would you go if you had a choice. Clearly, the Jets' choice would be out over the Chargers at this rate. But say the Chargers are out of the picture, I'm going to the Jets, man. You're getting a freaking top pick. Either it's Justin Fields or Lawrence. It's looking like Lawrence at the moment. Jets would love to see Jacksonville win that. Just assure that. But, if I'm one of these young, talented offensive coaches, I got 2 spots in my mind, and it's not even close. I'm going to either L.A. with Herbert, or I'm going to New York with the Jets with the draft picks they got coming up. Denzel Mims looks pretty promising offensively. I don't think it's close, to be honest with you, Will. I think those 2 jobs are ones that stick out if I'm a head coach, and I know clearly Adam Gase is gone, and I know Anthony Lynn is gone, and I just do not see Doug Peterson leaving. If they fire Doug Peterson, it's just Philly being Philly. It literally is like the fan base pressuring them because you're strapped with Wentz. You're strapped with them, and it's weird because you got this is it. This is how Wentz is going to be. I don't think that's the case. I think they messed up overthinking the Jalen Rager pick. Jefferson was sitting there, thought he was just a slot guy. Yeah, you were wrong. Jefferson looks like a freaking monster in Minnesota. If you just thought very smartly, all right, let's not overthink this. this is our guy, like JJ or think of Whiteside. But why are we overthinking it? Just take the guy that you like. Take the guy that's actually good. Take him. So, I don't know, man. They missed on DK Metcalf, man. So I don't know what Philly's doing offensively. I think it's more of with Wentz not having weapons and he's not having a trust factor. I don't know what it is, honestly. And to be fair, it falls on the coach. Coach has got to, like, Wentz. You take the check down. We have a competent running back in Miles Sanders. I get he has the case of the dropsies the past few weeks, but get the run game more involved. Something to help this kid out, and they're not. So comes on Peterson as well. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of opening jobs, and there's some ones that intrigue me. I never thought I'd say it in my life, but the Jets job is actually intriguing. I like what Joe Douglas is doing with the Jets front office. Becton looks great. Mims looks solid. If I'm a young head coach, I'm looking at the Jets and Chargers, and it's not even close. We did talk about Atlanta.
Yes.
But if I'm a coach looking to have, like, control for a long time and a quarterback for a long time, I'm going Jets and the Chargers. And I don't even think it's close. Again, you got Houston with Deshaun Watson. It's like, I know what I'm already getting with Deshaun Watson, but you got nothing. You would have no draft capital in the next few years. No, you can't make that team any better unless it's free agency. So, yeah, no, Jets and Chargers, not even close.
Would you even put Jacksonville in that consideration? Because it's either, Lawrence or Fields, and you also got the Rams pick wherever they end up falling.
I don't. I think it's Chargers and Jets for me up top. Again, it comes down to drafts because, again, I get the Jets are having that Seattle pick, but that's the next 2 years. You got 2 first-round draft picks. So I don't think it's close, to be honest. And whatever you get for Darnold. So, again, Jets fans will love and hope and pray it's a first. It's not happening. I do see a second possibly coming their way. So figure you're going to have 2 second-round picks, 2 first-round draft picks. I mean, it's a no-brainer to go to the Jets or the Chargers. I really don't think it's close. Again, I like what Jacksonville's doing. Josh Allen, Miles Jack, Miles Jack, and their quarterback was it CJ Henderson?
Yes.
They drafted this year out of Florida, or Florida State. So yeah, they got some nice pieces. Clearly, Josh Allen's a stud as a rusher. So I like the pieces they have. DJ Shark offensively. James Robinson looks very promising. That's not an awful thing, but I think if you're getting Trevor Lawrence, so if God forbid the Jets do win a few games or Jacksonville just loses out and the Jets win a game or two, then it switches minds. Then it clearly switches, I'm going to go follow Trevor Lawrence. But either way, both these quarterbacks are good, man. Fields is great. Lawrence is great. And then Zach Wilson at BYU looks pretty darn good. So it's very weird, but I think the Jets and the Chargers are the top 2 for me, and I don't really think it's close.
Some other coaching things. You're a big Michigan guy. Jim Harbaugh is eyeing a NFL return. I mean, and let's see, another name, Zach Taylor. I mean, there was talks of him getting Cam, but with them losing their quarterback in the game against Washington, they are not going to be removing Zach Taylor, but it'll be a very kind of weird opportunity for them there. And also another name to bring up, Josh McDaniels could leave New England to go pursue another job elsewhere in the coaching world. Maybe he'll stay with a coaching gig this time instead of, bailing out last second, which ended up, providing a lot of good stuff for the Colts.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he might be promised that New England job. I guarantee Belichick's talked to him, especially the way this season's going. I don't think Belichick really wants to start over, to be honest with you. I don't know if Belichick wants to go and draft a new rookie quarterback and start from scratch. Do
you not see them? Jimmy G. I mean, there's talks of Jimmy G getting cut. Could he make his return to New England? Because he was, Belichick's protege that he was hyping up, but then, Kraft was
very well could. Very well could. He's got his guy again, got the draft pick for him. So, I don't think they love Cam. So I could see them. They have no loyalty to Cam. I can see them going out and getting Jimmy G again, but I don't see Belichick really starting over again. He might give it a year or two with Jimmy G and be like, all right, is this kid actually as bad as San Fran thinks he is? Because Kyle Shanahan's an offensive guru. That guy is very, very good at what he's doing. So do the Patriots have a plan in place where with McDaniels taking over? That could be the case.
Let's look at the playoff scenario, the playoff picture right now, because there's 3 teams that can clinch a playoff berth today, 2 of which can clinch their divisions if they get certain things going. So let's start off from the top here. So the Chiefs can clinch a playoff berth with just a win today, a win against the Denver Broncos. They can clinch the division with a win against the Broncos and a Raiders loss to New York. The Steelers can clinch with a win, just a playoff berth with a win. They can clinch the division with a win and a Browns loss, plus they need their strength of schedule to go into Pittsburgh's favor this week. And the Saints can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Bears loss. Which of these do you think may end up happening? Or do you just see all 3 happening?
I can see all 3 happening. I am kind of weird with the Saints, though, man. The Falcons already got their look at Taysom Hill. So this is their second go-around with Taysom Hill. They might know what to do with him. I don't know if that's for sure because Atlanta's defense is atrocious.
Atlanta's just Atlanta.
Oh, my God.
They looked really good last week, and then, this week they could just end up, burying themselves.
So it's Atlanta. I didn't pick him on our show for a reason. I'm sitting there like, this is where I want to pick Atlanta. But every time I pick Atlanta, they lose. So I'm tired of picking Atlanta. If they win, they win. I'm done. So
you'll like next week's matchup with Atlanta, that's for sure.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Atlanta and LAC.
Oh, give me Herbert, baby. But, yeah, if anything, I see the Chiefs clearly as much as I love to see Kansas City lose. And I know Pittsburgh, they're calling this a close game. I think Pittsburgh gets it done as well on Monday. Saints is my only question mark here. I believe they can get it done as well because it's the Falcons. But Falcons looked great last week against a Raiders team that's played tough with Kansas City. But I do believe all 3 can do it. But the Saints is my question mark.
I have the Chiefs are a definite win because I don't even know what's going on with Denver with their protocols with COVID. I mean, they find all 4 quarterbacks with not wearing masks. The Steelers I can see, but I know it's going to be a difficult matchup. But you put a question mark with the Saints, I'm going to clinch with the Saints. I'm fighting for my playoff life in fantasy right now. I need Taysom Hill to have a great game this week. So
I hope he does. I need him to feed Michael Thomas. His best game, Michael Thomas, was that first game against Atlanta with Taysom Hill. My God, I'm so tired of fantasy.
Fantasy stresses me out too much.
This year especially, man. I've been all in on it, and I'm like, all right, cool. I got some pretty good rosters, and I get Kamara in a trade with CMC, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make the playoffs now, baby. Let's go. I got the best team in this league. I'm just on the bottom because of injuries. Here I come. Yeah, 10 points from Kamara in a game that must be won, and yeah, it's been awful since. So. I'm like so done. I'm just so worn out, and it's like I have good teams in other leagues, and I know there's teams that are better than mine. So it's like, I guess second place is a nice, backup prize. Like
first is the worst, second is the best. Always remember that.
No. First. You ain't first, you're last. Will you ain't first, you're last. Come on now. But it's just I don't know, man. I'm so over fantasy, and I'm ready for fantasy basketball. Start my first time with
I'm ready for fantasy hockey. I'm trying to make it 4 years in a row making the fantasy playoffs.
Bingo. So it's just like I'm over fantasy football as much as I'm not, because I'll be glued to it right after we're done with the show, seeing what matchups I have to make here and changes. So I'm hoping Eckler gives me that late push for a chip this year because I lost Mr. Dakota Prescott. So, oh, gosh.
We just got one comment. Taysom as quarterback is killing Kamara's value.
Absolutely it is. I would know.
Latavius' value is just skyrocketing, and Kamara's just falling off a cliff.
It's just because once you get in the red zone, power back Taysom Hill is what it's turning to. So absolutely, wherever that comment is, dead on.
The Opinions Podcast Network, who are providing us. So let's move into Houston as the Texans lose their best receiver, Will Fuller, for the rest of the year with PEDS. I mean, he did mention that he was taking some other kind of medicine to help with some stuff that he was dealing with. Ultimately, 6-game suspension, so he's suspended through the rest of the year in the first game of the 2021 season, which is going to be a big blow to wherever he ends up landing in Houston. If he stays in Houston or just goes elsewhere, I know he'll be a big receiver in the free agency market. Kenny Stills is also cut. Can the Texans and Deshaun Watson somehow prove value on that offense going down the last 4 games of the stretch?
No shot. You've seen the miss of DeAndre Hopkins big time in that offense. I get Brandon Cooks has finally found his way in that offense right after I cut him in fantasy. So there's that low blow. Sticking with fantasy, but I no, they haven't won crap this year anyway. So you're losing offensive pieces. That ain't gonna do any better. I mean, I get they're getting David Johnson back, but don't worry, he'll be out in 2 weeks. So
It's not like he's playing anyway.
it's like he's gonna be out again. So like I'm so over the Texans. This is my point on what jobs I'm taking. I get you got a stud in Deshaun Watson. I'm not jumping to that job, man. There's nothing there. And the PED problems kind of shows there's problems there in Houston. Figure Brian Cushing like failed like what 2 or 3 times when he was
Yes.
there. So and you got Will Fuller now, and there was someone else, wasn't there?
I'm
Yeah,
not.
Roby, the corner.
Oh yeah, Roby.
So there's problems there. That's something you're gonna have to look at there in Houston, folks.
Let's see. So let's talk some more free agency news. So Richard Sherman has said he's not going to be returning to San Fran in 2021. He's had a very down year the first year he was there. Second year, he was on the rise. One of the best corners, as he has been proven year in and year out. This year, he's been dealing with a calf injury, which held him out for, I believe, 8 games. Where do you think he will go? Because I know he's going to be turning, 31 in the upcoming season. So he's going to be up there in age for a cornerback.
He's gonna go to a contending team. That's pretty much where it's gonna go, and that's weird because I think San Fran will be a contending team once they're healthy, and because you saw it last year. So I really don't know. I'm trying to think of teams off the head where like their corner situation's a little funky and they're really really good. You know what? Kansas City. Kansas City, I wouldn't say have the best corners. They have solid corners. But if Richard Sherman is looking for another ring, why not follow the L Bell train and find his way to Kansas City? Kansas City.
I mean, one place I might honestly see him if he wants to stay in the AFC. I mean, I would say Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh would be kind of like an option because I don't even know what's going on with like Joe Hayden and company.
Joe Hayden's a free agent this off season, or it's the following. I think it's this one, to be honest with you.
So we might.
Steelers have a lot of cap problems. So unless Richard Sherman's coming to Pittsburgh for dirt cheap, I don't see it happening, man. Steelers have a lot of cap situation. Juju's on the market. Hearing rumors of the Jets offering him a big contract. Bud Dupree's a free agent. Alvin Nueva's a free agent. James Conner's a free agent. Steelers have a boatload of free agents. Avery Williamson clearly is going to be a free agent after this season. There's a boatload of free agents, and the Steelers have decisions to make, and I'm not sure where they're going to go with them. I know they love Joe Hayden. I sure as heck love Joe Hayden. I'd love to see him back, but again, price tag, man. He's getting up there in age. I get Sherman is also. I really don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. It's not like they have no money, but if the cap's actually going to go down, which is ridiculous, these guys have money at the rear end. Like, you'll make money back. I promise you. So I don't understand why the cap would go down. I clearly understand they all lost money. They're all taking a hit. But you're going to take a hit with your rosters next season. So this where teams that are, on the bad side, like the Jets, for example, they're going to have a boatload of money and a ton of free agents out there. My God, there's a plethora of free agents. But Sherman goes to a contending team, man. I don't see the Steelers as that team personally because I don't know what happens this year. Say the Steelers make the Super Bowl, God forbid, and they win it. I mean, not God forbid, I would freaking love it. But if they win a Super Bowl this year with Ben, I don't know if Ben's coming back. I don't know. He might come back knowing he still has a great roster around him. But I don't know what happens. Again, Kansas City is a team that sticks out to me. Pretty much contending teams at that age, I don't see a younger team going out and getting them. I don't see it.
I don't even know what NFC teams would end up going with them. So Kansas City might be the ultimate pick for Richard Sherman to go.
Like, I mean, you could go Green Bay, but Green Bay
already has a great defense.
I wouldn't say Green Bay has a great defense. Their rush defense is atrocious, but their corners are pretty good. That's where their strength is in that back end. Jair Alexander, King on the other side. So again, you can put Sherman in the slot possibly. So I really don't know. I don't know. Possibly Seattle again. As stupid as that sounds. If Seattle wants to give him some money, Seattle can use another corner to go along with Griffin there. So I really have zero clue. We'll see. We'll see with Sherman. We'll see.
It'll be interesting to see where he ends up going. Now, the big giveaway for this past offseason, the Jadeveon Clowney giveaway, where is he going to go? Apparently every single team was in on him. The Titans win the ultimate giveaway for him. He's having knee surgery, ending his 2020 campaign, which was a very flop of a campaign for him. And he's looking to eye a return for 2021. I mean, he's been all over the place. Seattle didn't really offer him anything, and then, he kind of flops with the Tennessee. I mean, I think he might not even get as much money as he expects to. He's not been playing well whatsoever.
Do you have his numbers up by chance?
His number, I do not have his numbers, unfortunately.
All right, well,
no.
while I talk, if you want to pop that up, give me a sack total. Give me a sack total at least. So for Clowney, it was a question that went into the offseason, and the result of that question was no one wants to pay the man what he wants to get paid. He wanted big money, like a edge rusher money, and he didn't get it. And this is why. Will's going to give me the numbers here, and he's not good at getting to the quarterback. He's not at all. If you look at Tennessee's biggest problem defensively, they cannot get to the quarterback. They made a mistake trading him with Jarrell Casey, guy that did get to the quarterback a little bit. Yeah, this guy cannot get to the quarterback. Seattle didn't pay him. Houston traded him away for that reason. What are we not seeing with Clowney here? He's a good run stopper. Run stoppers don't get paid. I'm sorry to tell you. You need to get to the quarterback, and he does not do a good job at it.
So Jadeveon Clowney, right now, 19 tackles and 5 assisted tackles, 1 fumble, forced fumble actually. So he ends the year with 19 tackles, 5 assists, no interceptions, 0 sacks, 1 forced fumble.
You don't have to keep going. You don't have to keep going.
I could even give you last year's numbers too. So 31 tackles, 10 assists, 3 sacks, 1 interception for 27 yards, and that's about it for Seattle.
He's not good. He's not good. He's not a rusher. He's not going to get paid. He's going to have to either retire and get that through his mind that, like, I'm not going to do it, or have a resurgence and realize you're not getting that money. And if you want, sign a 1-year deal, sign another 1-year deal, put it all on you. Try something, my man, because you are not a rusher and you're not going to get paid like one. So get that through your mind. It's not happening. It's not. The man is a scary man. I would not say that to his face, but my God, you're not a rusher. And if you haven't realized the market is not paying you, and no one jumped out, take my money, take my money, take my money. That clearly says a lot. A guy like Bud Dupree, who I was very down on a few years back, guy's turned into a legit rusher. That is a guy that is going to get money in the offseason. I get he just got hurt towards ACL, but don't give me that crap anymore. Guys come back all the time from ACL injuries. That's the guy I'm going to give money. He's a great locker room guy, a legit rusher. I think he would be better with someone else on the other side with him. He is going to get paid. There's rumors you might say with Pittsburgh with the injury. That's a guy that's getting paid.
He's already on the franchise tender, right?
Yeah, he's on the franchise tag. That's what sucks with these injuries, man. It sucks, but I like it for teams that you can't let him walk. So give him that 1 year and go on your merry way. But yes, Clowney's not getting paid. It's very simple, my friend. You're not getting paid. Guys like Dupree and the other edge rushers out there, or whoever else is touching the market. I haven't really looked because I know my team ain't going to be in on it. But you're not getting paid like a rusher, my friend. So it's just not happening. I don't know where Klein is going to end up. It's going to be one of those things, wait all off season and then hop to a team that gives him like something. So again, if you're a young team with a lot of money, please, for the love of God, do not go rushing your money to this guy because he's going to rob you blind.
And let's look at some quarterback news. So Lamar Jackson is going to return to play against Dallas. Tua is expected to make his start after missing last week's game against the Jets with a thumb injury. And Josh Allen, despite dealing with knee and ankle injuries, he's going to be playing against San Francisco in Arizona. Have to point that out there.
Hey, man, it's good for the league to see these quarterbacks in. So there's really nothing else to say to that. It's good to see these guys back. I really want to see more Tua, man. I'm so weird with Tua. Um, I've
Should have
talked
been
to,
Burrow versus Tua today. Should have been.
yeah, would have loved to see that. But like, I've gone back and forth with my girlfriend's family, and they're Dolphins fans, and I'm like, I feel like the Dolphins are babying this kid. You got 2 draft picks next year. One could be on the higher side. Houston continues to like scratch off wins, which isn't helping that case. But you got that Texans pick. Um, it's gonna be top 10 most likely, possibly. So find out what two is now, or go out and trade up and get Zach Wilson. He might be there with the Houston pick. Um, I'm tired of babying this kid. He's gotten the injury thing. Um, the injury tag, like, oh gosh, watch out, injury bug with this kid. He's got a thumb injury. Doesn't play last week against the Jets. Matthew Stafford's playing with torn ligaments, my man, in his thumb. So you can play through stuff. So as much as I do love Tua, and I think he's gonna be very good, I feel like the Dolphins are babying him, and it's kind of like if the kid wants to play, let him play. Like I don't know, man. It's kind of worrisome if I was a Dolphins fan. The kid is not playing, and he, to be honest, hasn't shown me anything where it's like, all right, we got our guy. I've seen a heck of a lot out of Herbert, and clearly I've seen plenty out of Joe Burrow.
And let's look at some other injury news. So, players out today include Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, Denzel Ward, Adoree Jackson, Jonnu Smith, Irv Smith Jr., Alexander Madison, Kenny Galladay, Jeffrey Okuda, Anthony Costanzo, Bobby Okriri, that was a mess up, Rigoberto Sanchez, Matt Breida, Marcus Davenport, Janoris Jenkins, and Larry Fitzgerald are out today. Some other news, Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney, both Bears wide receivers, are expected to play. Julio Jones and Todd Gurley, both listed as questionable, are expected to play barring any setbacks, so we'll find out in the next minute or two if they're going to be playing. Carlos Hyde is going to be playing despite his hamstring injury. Kalen Ballage, questionable today, will play with his ankle injury against the New England Patriots. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's been dealing with the flu this week, is going to be, a game-time decision depending on how he feels going into the game tonight against the Denver Broncos. Colt McCoy is expected to start in Seattle for the New York Giants. And let's see what else is going on here. Lamar Jackson, as we already mentioned, one positive test today for the games. All the games are set to go. James Conner is eligible to come off the COVID reserve list. Is not going to be playing going into the game tomorrow against the Washington football team. And Mark Andrews, who remains on the COVID reserve list, is not expected to play against the Cowboys this Tuesday. That is the injury roundup in about a minute and 20 seconds. Bam. So let's talk some fantasy football here. The push for the playoffs, I have clinched 2. I'm starting the playoffs today, but a lot of leagues are not starting their playoffs till next week. So this is a big week for a lot of people, trying to pray that some people lose, other people, end up helping them with strength of schedules and stuff. Who are you going to be starting in fantasy this week that should help someone's team make the fantasy postseason?
For me, a guy that a lot of people probably picked up, J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins seems to be taking over that backfield in Baltimore. He's in a favorable matchup. I'm banking on it. J.K. Dobbins against Dallas could be a big day for some fantasy people. People that held on to the man all season now might start to, reap the benefit of holding on to him all season, because it looks like he's finally taken over that lead back role in Baltimore. Pass catching back, very elusive back. Could be the guy for the long haul for your fantasy season, for your playoff push. Give me J.K. Dobbins.
I got 3 people here, actually, because I'm struggling in one league. I'm 5-6-1. I'm praying that one person loses, I win. Yeah, I got a tie against the same person the same week in 2 years in a row. I hate ties. I do. So here are my 3 people I'm starting, and 2 of them I picked up in fantasy. So first one, I'm saying Jamison Crowder to start against the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders have the worst coverage against slot receivers, so give Crowder a day right now against the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, stick with that game. Devontae Booker with Josh Jacobs out. Booker's going to be getting a majority of the carries. I don't think anyone else in that backfield is going to be getting a predominant amount of carries. But against the 23rd ranked, front seven New York Jets, I think Booker might be a really good start. And the other one I'm picking up, Mitchell Trubisky against the Detroit Lions, as I am now struggling because I have Tom Brady on the bye week right now, and I have Jimmy G on IR. So Taysom Hill and Mitchell Trubisky shall get me into the fantasy postseason. The 26th ranked front seven, 26th ranked defense for the Detroit Lions. With Mooney and Allen Robinson starting, let's eat today, Mitch. Let's eat today. And people you want to sit, who shall everyone sit going into this week?
Sit-ems for this week. Gosh, you got to look at matchups again, folks. It's fantasy is a thing of matchups. And for me, a matchup that I do not like, it's got to be my man, Zeke Elliott. He's starting. It's one of those, like, your handicap is like, you have Zeke, you drafted him. Like, you really don't have much depth probably after that because you got Zeke. I'm not starting Zeke, man. I'm done with it. I have him, and this is one league that I'm really good in, and I could win it all. And I needed that running back piece. I can't play him anymore, man. I'm banking on J.K. Dobbins. That's that same league. Zeke's the guy I'm sitting. And we also had a comment about back to Seattle. I think it was on the Richard Sherman talk, I believe.
Yes.
So I had a comment there on our show for Richard Sherman back to Seattle as another look. So has someone agree with me on that?
I mean, people, I might have to look at benching. This is very difficult because I'm struggling right now in fantasy. I really am. I'm the 1 seed in one league. Looking at the 3 in another one. I'm playing the 1 seed right now, but this is honestly very difficult. I mean, I'm gonna say bench Big Ben this week. I mean, against a very difficult front four. I mean, I would be kind of scared for Big Ben. I know he's dealing with the knee injuries right now, which he's always been dealing with his entire career, but I might honestly bench Big Ben going into this week.
What are you smoking, sir?
I have Aaron Rodgers, so that's why I'm benching him this week.
So you say start Trubisky, but sit Ben. Will, what is wrong with you, my man? Like, you good? You good? I'm gonna go there.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I don't think I'm running a temperature right now, so I think I'm feeling I'm feeling okay.
I cannot believe this man just said that. Come on, Will. Like, you sound like Michael Robinson on NFL Network saying Washington's going to sack Ben 6 times this week. Are you kidding me?
I also sound like
10 times. He's been sacked 10 times this season. 10. And you're all of a sudden he's going to drop 6 on us this week? Stop it. Oh my. Bro, Pittsburgh loses Bud Dupree and now the ship is like literally sailed now. Cowards like, they're not a Super Bowl team. Bro, oh my gosh. I've had enough. I've really had enough with the media and the Steelers. It's like we're 11-0, but it's like, God, just lose once, please, so we could drop you to like 7th on our rankings. Just lose once, please. Like, that's literally what it is with the Steelers. Like, I love that it's back to that because it's like the Steelers are relevant again. But oh my gosh, Will, that is a smoking bad take, my friend.
Listen, I have no one else I could really bench. I mean, you already took Zeke, so I can't say like, oh yeah, bench Zeke because it's already been said. I mean, who else could I even put down without trying to mess up my lineup? I don't know, Christian Kirk against the second-ranked LA Rams. I mean, I think I might honestly go with that. Alan Lazard, I mean, Lazard's a very shaky play, but I think he might honestly just rip the Eagles a new one going into this week. And why not bench the Cardinals defense?
Yeah, that's a little funky matchup there that I'm not really sold on. I kind of stayed away from that game. Yeah, I really don't know what to look for in that matchup there. I'm sitting the Rams, holding on to them as the next few matchups are very, very favorable. But yeah, I have to drop them.
I don't know, we might take a little brief intermission so we can get another person on here. So I don't know if you want to do the honors and invite Alex on.
Yeah, you just gotta shoot him the invite.
Oh wait, can't you just do it from your thing? I'm pretty sure you can.
Can I invite him?
Yeah, you just go to participants in the bottom here.
You're good then. All
yeah.
right, Get this bad boy rolling.
Yeah, so hey, we're going to be inviting the person that's providing us a very prominent platform on here, our guy Alex, who also runs a lot of stuff. He runs a political podcast along with the what's his other podcast called? The
Uh,
Sequesta.
Questing Dose. Questing Dose. But yeah, you know, I'm pretty excited for this week. Not exciting gambling wise though.
Yeah,
That's
I had
something.
to leave that one out. I don't know who to take, like what to even look at because this is just I've been we're almost coming up the year anniversary where I messed up on a bet that had 38,000 odds and I was screwed by John Gruden and the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, Seattle screwing me over in a bet is like
It's
it's
kind of
like
like saying, "Oh, predicting the Jets are going to win."
it's like Steelers and blowouts. They don't happen. And Seattle with me and money don't happen. So, uh, so I'm not surprised you got with Seattle. That's just kind of how it works, man. Seattle, you're gonna get got with Seattle. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm very excited for this week, and you know, a lot to look forward to. I don't know if my man's
There he is.
there's the man
There
himself.
he is.
There he is, him and his black screen. There's my man.
There he is, ripping all the Jet gear.
What's going on, everybody?
What is up, Alex?
How are you? Let me fix my speaker because right now it's not going through my audio there. Hold on 1 second. That should work. What's going on, everybody?
What is up?
So just cue me in. You guys keep going, and I will jump in with whatever you guys are talking about.
All right, so let's go into the locked and upset picks this week. So, what are you guys locking in as your guaranteed win this week?
Oh my God, that's a loaded one right away.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I guess for me, my lock has to be the Dolphins, but I can't say that to be honest with you because the Giants kind of struggled with Cincinnati last week. Cincinnati ain't going down without a fight. Tua has scared me offensively, but I'm gonna go out here on a limb because I don't want to pick blowouts and stuff like it. It's like guaranteed win. I'm not like I could be that guy in Kansas City here. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go Dolphins over Cincinnati though.
Will you go ahead of me because I'm gonna get a chance to scan.
Okay. So this week I'm just gonna lock in the Saints over the Falcons because the Saints honestly own the Falcons every single year, and I think this is the last game we might see Taysom Hill start because Drew Brees is apparently feeling a lot better from his half a rack of ribs being shattered in the last couple of weeks. So if this
Killed
is
my fantasy.
if this is the end of the Taysom Hill train, I mean I think will go off as a 3-0 quarterback looking into what might go on next season.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I like the Chargers beating the Patriots. I like that matchup. I think Herbert has a coming out party. The Patriots aren't a great offense, so that's my lock. I like the Chargers.
For me, though, it worries me with rookie quarterbacks and Belichick. I get at the same time, Belichick's record's blown out of proportion because he has Mr. Tom Brady there, who clearly looks like he's missing. They both kind of look like they're missing each other.
Oh yeah.
Kind of weird, but they look, clearly Tampa's a lot better than Patriots situation. But
I mean, Tampa's slowly going downhill, though. They started off on a high, and it's sad to say your former Steeler, Antonio Brown, is not having the positive effect. He's playing well, but not having the winning effect that one would expect.
hey, man, not my pig, not my farm anymore. That's all I know. Franchise Jew here. I'm all in on that. But yeah, for me, that's a questionable one. But at the same time, man, Patriots are also questionable this year. So I don't disagree with you. I can see Justin Herbert going off in that game.
Yeah.
And your upset pick this week, who you banking on upsetting the world, shocking the world, or even, just squeezing out a quick field goal to get a win?
I'll go in there. I think that this one's a weird one, but it might actually work out. The 49ers upsetting the Bills, which is a huge, I know if the 49ers team comes to play the way that they're supposed to, that is a good team. Mo starts back, so he is rumbling and he's running well again. You still have McKinnon there. They have good weapons. If Mullins can pull together and not be turnover prone, that's an upset waiting to happen because I think the Bills are riding high. Allen's going to come in running like a psycho again, throwing the ball, but he is turnover prone. So I think that could be the upset of the week.
For me, I'm kind of looking at two here. Not gonna lie, boys, your Jets.
Don't say it.
Your Jets. Your Jets stick out to me because your Jets have played games where it's like, I've been at Joe's house, I've been at Jets fans' house, and saying, please, yes! It's like, that's passive interference. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Not this year, it's not. But, I can see the Jets upsetting the Raiders, man. The Jets have had games where it's like, holy crap, they're going to win this one. Next minute, they do lose it. It's like they have a button, that like Buffalo Wild Wings button. We're going to hit this button and boom, the game's over. I could see that happening in Cleveland, the Browns. I mean, I did pick the Titans, and a lot of my picks this week for my one bet I do have. But I can see the Browns upsetting Tennessee, man. The more and more I think about it, the Browns could control the ball and run all over them and just win the game that way.
I mean, I could see the Jets winning this week, as much as I really would hate to see it. I mean, the Raiders have only won one 1 o'clock game in the past 6 years, and that was against the Panthers week 1 this year. I mean, they just cannot play in the 1 o'clock hour, and that's been shown this year where they have to play multiple games. But one team I might honestly see is the football team upsetting the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I picked that this week, and I'm going to have to ride with that very high. I have a lot of Steeler people that are just coming from my head saying, how can you even pick this? Remove your credentials, Will. That's what they have said. But
That's right. Well, remove them.
But
so
hey,
do I have to call them the football team on this show? Is that a rule? Or can I be? I can't be passive aggressive.
I mean,
okay.
if you
rules are rules, Alex. We follow them just like that's their name. It's their name. I can't make.
I mean, I like a good Colton rant about the football team. He said, stop calling them the football team. They are going to be Washington or the Redskins. Doesn't matter. They're not going to be called the football team.
I will just call them Washington because obviously they're a friggin' football team. So that is the most redundant name of all time. But, there is something there, Colton. Unfortunately for you, there is something there because whenever the upset games happen on undefeated teams, that's just how it works. I think Tomlin will get them coming to play, but maybe something freak goes on. You can't control injuries. You guys have, the Steelers have battled through injuries. They just lost Bud. It's a tough road to stay undefeated. It's a tough road to stay with that mentality, especially Monday night in the spotlight. So there is definitely something to that. And Washington is sneaky. They're one of the best bad teams in the league. So they play good football. They have a good running back. They can control the clock.
For me, I just don't see it because, again, Pittsburgh had an ugly win against Baltimore. Pittsburgh had a case of the dropsies. Otherwise, that score doesn't even look remotely close as it does. I think Pittsburgh's ready to play in a bounce back after looking ugly against the Ravens. I think they put up a ton of points.
Colton, has Pittsburgh had a nice win all year? Not to be mean, they're the worst undefeated team I've ever seen in my history of my life in terms of just not having.
Here we go.
This is
a baby.
Question.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Have they had a truly 60-minute dominant win from whistle to whistle that you could sit there and say that undefeated team is the best team in the NFL? Because I don't think, even as an undefeated team, they're not my Super Bowl favorites.
Of course they're not everyone's Super Bowl favorites, Alex. We all act like Kansas City's played a cakewalk. Kansas City has played a worse record overall than Pittsburgh has this season. But we're all blind to it, apparently. Pittsburgh has the easiest schedule. Kansas City's playing the Saints every week, the Buccaneers every week. Can we stop? Are we blind to this shit? Pittsburgh blew out the damn Browns. Pittsburgh should be losing. Pittsburgh played the Browns, Titans, and Ravens in a row, and they played Dallas. In Dallas. It was 3 road games in a row. Dallas was the last one. That is a trap game written all over it. Pittsburgh usually loses that game. Pittsburgh won the game. And as you said, they haven't played 60 minutes. I don't disagree with you. They haven't. And they're 11-0. Wait till they play a complete game. You have to also take into fact here, Steelers have had major injuries defensively with Devin Bush, now Bud Dupree. They lost their starting right tackle to start the season with the torn ACL. Kansas City has nothing like that. Then I'm going to add in the schedule. The season's been weird. Kansas City hasn't had a weird season. Kansas City hasn't had their bye messed up week 4. Kansas City didn't get their game pushed back 3 times this season. Don't worry. Pittsburgh gets to have to deal with all that. And what pisses me off is if it was Kansas City getting their game messed with the Ravens like that, getting pushed back, God, this ain't fair to Kansas City, folks. Kansas City getting their schedule messed with. This ain't good for their players getting it pushed back. But don't worry, they don't get that. And they don't get that conversation going their way. Like, oh, God, we got to feel bad for Kansas City here.
So, Will,
Save
how
me
does it feel
shit.
being the two
God.
guys that are fans of 0-11 teams, and we're not complaining, and he's the fan of an 11-0 team? How do you do this every week?
Listen, I know,
Yeah, but
I
it's a
know, I know,
fair argument.
I know certain things that just could get Colton just going. I mean, I like bringing up
It's
Bill
not hard.
O'Brien. I like saying how like he wasn't given a fair shot. I know what drives Colton insane because I love getting the reactions out of Colton every single week.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. Like, it's like Green Bay from last year. Again, was Green Bay like over the top with their record? Sure.
Yeah, because they were a bottom team the year before, so they were able to just play a cakewalk schedule.
Yeah, but this were
Steelers were an 8-8 team, 9-7.
yeah, they're 8-8. So, but this is my point. You play who you play, and like it's like if the Steelers lost that game. So look at this. This is my point. Kansas City has struggled twice with the Raiders. The Raiders got their darn doors blown off by the freaking Falcons last week.
Yeah, but that's in division. You
It doesn't-
can't.
I
That's
don't
not
care.
that. That
So,
doesn't.
bingo,
No,
bingo.
that's
You
not.
just said it. Thank you. In division, everyone's out here. Wow, the Steelers actually aren't that good after they almost lost to the Ravens, who had no one. If you look back, the Steelers have played close game with the Ravens. Literally that game Tuesday, go back 8 years, that same date.
Yeah, but the Ravens had no one. There was an excuse there where the Vegas Raiders were fully loaded with Carr, with all their weapons there, and they played a tough game in division. I don't know. For the toughest division in football, you constantly have one of the worst teams in the NFL in your division all the time. Whether
Yeah,
it's the
but guess what?
whether it's the
They're back.
Bengals or the Browns.
But this year has to be one of the best seasons for this division. The Browns are competent.
Somehow.
Bengals upset the Titans. The Bengals weren't a pushover.
It's
Now
because
they
the
are.
Bengals throw the ball 60 times a game, just like you should do with any, and it's just like they hope. We're going to score 50 points every week and hope we don't give up 70.
But
That
my
is their
point-
game plan.
Yeah, but this is my point though. We're not Pittsburgh's not getting any credit, and it's really pissing me off. And everyone's giving the old cakewalk schedule, but apparently have like the blinders on with Kansas City's schedule. Like, oh crap, Kansas City's played no one good either. But we're not going to say no. They played no one good. No. I don't see that. No. Stop being stupid. They both have played cakewalk schedules. Pittsburgh has won every single one of them, and Kansas City lost one of them. So, my God, stop giving me the crap. Pittsburgh won their games in the division. They got throttled in the first half against the Ravens. Their offense storms back in the second half, dominates Baltimore. Defense puts up a shutout that first game. They played Baltimore in Baltimore, won, go on the road in a trap game, and win.
Will, you
So-
ready to get me going again? Ready to get
Don't get me
again?
Oh
going.
my God.
I'm
It's
done,
so interesting,
Coach.
Colton, that behind you have a Steelers player and a referee because they're both Steelers. Did it?
Get the heck out of
Oh
here,
my
bro.
God.
All right, well, you
You're going fishing. You're going fishing. I'm done with it. I'm done. You're not a fisherman. I'm done with that bait. I ain't taking that bait.
All right, so let's go into one of the final segments, the closing remark segment. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff. So whatever's on your mind, football-wise, or even sports opinions in general, I mean, this is the time to shine. And all this.
Colton, do you want to go on another rant?
Well, I'm gonna let you start there, Alex. I'm gonna let you start your little final remark.
All right, so final remark, because I haven't, my schedule's been crazy for anyone that's an Opinion Podcast Network fan. I haven't put out as much as normal, so I get the chance to rant a little about my Jets for a second. Will, I think you're going to be right on this.
Hopefully.
Gase, I was okay for a little bit with them hanging on to Gase. He's a terrible coach. He's doing the job of making us go at the bottom, whatever. After that press conference that he had last week where he flat out got caught by like every beat reporter there lying, there is no coming back from that. There is no, oh, we need to keep him to lose. There is no, it's, he admitted to failing Darnold. He admitted to lying, trying to save face. You can't keep a guy like that around your franchise. He only makes Manish Mehta look right. Manish Mehta is the worst beat reporter in the history of beat reporters. So
I think he also was canned by the Daily News. He hasn't tweeted in about a week.
thank God. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but God, that guy needs to lose his job and his career. Go on a new one. You're bad. But overall, the Jets, they've earned the right to be a circus. And I've said it, Colton, I've said it in our little friends group, and I think I've said it to everyone. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is coming to the Jets, first pick or not. I think that he's going to pull an Eli Manning, John Elway, and say, either you trade me or you could draft me. I'm just not playing. I'll just sit out. I don't care. We won't sign. I won't play. I'd rather not play than play for that dumpster fire of a franchise because there's some nice guys there. And even if you get a decent coach, nothing to be said for the Jets. We get decent coaches. We make it to the playoffs and our fans are ecstatic. Other teams get decent coaches. They expect championships. Colton, your fan base is a perfect example. You guys had some down years, but when you guys have competent players, Pittsburgh fans expect championships. When Jets have competent players and competent coaches, we expect, oh, we made it to the wild card. Great season. Let's build on that. No, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I don't think Trevor Lawrence wants to touch us with the 10-foot pole. So I'm not optimistic at all. So that is my little rant with the Jets. I am not optimistic. Hopefully we lose 33 to -5. I want us to find a way to get negative points today.
Well, this is where I kind of disagree with you. I think Trevor Lawrence does go to the Jets. I don't think there's a question. I do think Joe Douglas has a conversation with Trevor Lawrence on coaches. I think that's kind of a thing where he's going to – because I do like the way the Jets are going. If you were listening, Alex, we kind of had this conversation. We had our show Tuesday, and it was a conversation of a question, what teams are you going to that are going to have coaches that are getting fired? And clearly, I thought after the fact that I'm going to take the Jets out because of the Chargers job, because I like with the Chargers. I know what I have in Herbert. I know what I have defensively there with Joey Bosa. Hopefully a healthy Derwin James. But as of right now, he's still there. I do believe he gets fired win. But before that, I said the Jets.
That's the future Jets head coach right there because, we like getting guys that fail.
So I don't think that happens. I think that's not going to happen under Joe Douglas. I think Joe Douglas is doing the right thing. And what makes me think the Jets are going to get Lawrence and it's going to work out. They got a great tackle in Becton. They got a young wide receiver that looks very, very good in Denzel Mims. They have Jamison Crowder, another competent receiver in the slot. They have a ton of money. They got 2 first-round draft picks. I get the other one's going to be late because it's Seattle. Give me yada, yada, yada. If Trevor Lawrence gets a coach he likes, like a Bieniemy or someone from Clemson, an offensive coach from Clemson, something like that, a quarterback coach, whatever, that follows them to the NFL, something, I don't see Lawrence having any question going. Figure we had this conversation with Cincinnati. I think in 2020, you would hear a lot of shit for doing the old Eli Manning, John Elway stunt. I just personally don't think you're going to see that anytime soon. I think a lot of these guys have the whole thing that I'm going to change this franchise. And right now, it looks like Joe Burrow is going to change Cincinnati. I get he just had this whole major injury. Give me that. If Trevor Lawrence is that big of a talent, I don't see him sitting out on the Jets. I think the Jets know that he's going to be a little iffy on it. I think Joe Douglas goes out and talks to him if they're pretty much the lock for that first pick. Clearly, there's going to be a ton of talks. We know he's going 1. We don't have to give me the old bullcrap who the Jets taking at 1. We all know who they're taking. They're going to talk to him and see who he's going to want. And if I'm the Jets, I'm giving anything Eric Bieniemy wants. And I'm getting him in, getting a young offensive mind in, and working with Trevor Lawrence, build the lineup a little bit more. And the Jets have a lot of money and possibly a depleted cap situation for the league. Jets can capitalize defensively because I think that's what the problem is.
The Jets are going to take a defensive tackle with the first pick because the Jets just like defensive tackles.
They're going to take that female kicker out of Vanderbilt, actually.
Sarah Fuller. Yes, that's who we need. Listen, we have the best punter in the NFL. Now we need the best kicker in the NFL.
I hate all of you. So that's their big problem to me is their defense. Their defense sticks out to me. It's like, all right, their defense is not good. That's where they're going to – I think
pass rush. That's really what they need.
So this is my point with the cap. So clearly Bud Dupree is towards ACL, so he's not going to be back for the start of the season. If I'm the Jets, I'm going out and getting Bud Dupree and getting another rusher. If they can get something decent there with that Seattle pick, whatever it may be, it's got to be defensive, or if there's an offensive lineman sitting there that shouldn't be sitting there, you're taking them. Otherwise, I'm going defense, and I'm going out and getting Bud Dupree. And then the following season, I'm going to draft an edge rusher, or if there's another one that's on the market that shouldn't be, I'm taking them. And you start that way, and the Jets, you're seeing it right now with Kyler Murray. I don't think Arizona's defense is that good. And Arizona is winning games. So if Trevor Lawrence is that good, you go out and get a weapon. So the Jets want to go out and go trade for a receiver. That shouldn't be, out in trade talks. Go do it. Get him a legit one to go along with Mims and Crowder. what do you see? Running backs are plentiful. James Robinson, undrafted, having fantastic season with the Jaguars, third in the league in rushing. You can get a running back. You don't need to draft one unless there's a guy that shouldn't be sitting there again, just kind of like with Detroit with DeAndre Swift last year. It's kind of one of those things like, this guy shouldn't be sitting here. We're going to take him. And that's what they did. And when he's healthy, he's kind of been very good this season. But that's kind of where I'm at with the Jets. I think Trevor Lawrence goes. I don't think it's a question. And I think the Jets are actually in a very good situation. 2 first-round draft picks the next 2 seasons. You don't know what you're getting for Darnold. Figure it's a second-round pick at least. So you're going to have 2 second-round picks this season, hopefully, or at least next year. Jets are in a good situation. Joe Douglas had a great draft. It's looking like he did a very good job in the draft. Ashton Davis looks good. Becton looks great. Mims looks very good. I don't think Lawrence shoots away the Jets. I think he goes, takes on the situation there. It's like, I'm taking this franchise. I'm putting on my back. We're going to go somewhere with this. I don't care what Josh Allen's doing in Buffalo. I'm taking over this division. It's going to be mine. And I think the Jets honestly have the right general manager. Just don't whiff on the coach. Give Bieniemy whatever he wants. Go on your merry way.
All right. Will, I think you're up. I don't know how you could follow that up.
I don't know how I could follow it up either. I was going to say my closing remarks is I just, I never get the chance to talk any hockey, but I really want the NHL to return because, hey, I made one mistake tweet and I said, wow, the Flyers lost, so I get disappointed 17 weeks by the Jets, and I didn't think I would be this disappointed by the New York Jets. So I regret tweeting that because I think that was the curse that, the nail in the coffin, a confirmed 0-16 year.
Well, you could be a Habs and Devils fan like me and, get false hope from the Habs at the beginning of every year and just get no hope from the Devils besides our awesome reverse retro jerseys.
Listen, I'm a Flyers fan at heart, but, come on, just get the agreement. Come on, Bettman. I just want the agreement. Just get hockey to return because that's what I need.
Definitely. And can I make one last final remark?
You can make whatever remark you want.
Hot take. Winner of the NFC East is the Super Bowl champion.
The Washington football team. I like that.
And whoever wins there is going to go on a hot streak, and they will win the Super Bowl. And it will be the worst Super Bowl champion of all time, and they're going to beat the Steelers.
I, for one, was really rooting for the Jaguars and the Eagles like 2-3 years ago, but like,
what in the hell's wrong with?
They're gonna go to the Super Bowl. The Steelers are gonna get there on an undefeated season, and it's gonna be the Giants at like 6-10, beating an undefeated Steelers and closing the legacy as the undefeated killers. The Giants will do it, and it'll be Colt McCoy beating you.
Well, we're gonna have to end this show because this is. Why we even give this man the time of day to even say that? Will, please wrap this puppy up.
God, the good thing these things are recorded because if that happens, I want $1 million from somebody.
Yeah, good thing there's facial reactions too, so like you got all that right there. But hey, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Let's get